Hi traders, this is my morning video and just a basic rundown of what I'm seeing in the markets. As I mentioned yesterday, I wasn't overly bullish on the markets. I saw a warning signal happening on the daily, the monthly webs on the Russell, which Russell, in my opinion, should have been leading the markets yesterday. And it was the first day of the year showing signs of a bearish divergence, in my opinion, in the Russell. And it wasn't until later in the afternoon that we got a short squeeze in the markets. So basically, what's happening overnight? There was news out, and some big general out of Iran got killed in those missile strikes over the weekend, and it's spooking the markets. And what basically the reason for the big sell-off, in my opinion, was we were just massively overbought, and every algo on the planet was buying the markets yesterday. And when you get a really extremely overbought situation and everybody's buying, it causes it doesn't take much of a headline risk to just completely come crashing back down. So right here, right now, we are at value area low for the ES for this week. It developed out last week, so we gave away. This was a blow off top scenario setting up here for the markets. So, all the algos right now are looking at this situation, and sell the news is potentially in for a possibility here. But we do have value for, it's not like we're breaking down out of value for our week. This looks really bad, what was happening this morning, but we're actually just right into normalized value as of right here, right now. So basically, they've just taken off all the excess in the markets based on the news. It's not really a major selling event so far, in my opinion. Now, if you go out in the daily webs, you see this yellow line here? That's the monthly VPOC. Now, wouldn't you know it? Let me delete that. 1 second here. Remove drawing. That's the monthly VPOC. And for any type of reasonable correction in the market, you would think for sure we'd be coming down to the 3193 area. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing of concern to me, I don't really like to see the markets crashing down right into value area low for the week before the market opens. I'd much rather prefer to come crashing down into value area low for a buying opportunity. And realizing this is happening here in the really early pre-market session, this is very concerning to me, the situation happening here. So I'm starting to lean that we are going to be, first of all, you got to have an untested weekly VPOC down here at the 3200 level. And then you have your, at the 3193 level, you've got your monthly VPOC. So there's two levels down here, which I really think the markets are trying to push for. And with this breakdown scenario happening as we speak, something to keep on your watch, okay? The NASDAQ, very, very bullish yesterday. Don't you know it? I hate TOS. Sometimes it does this stuff all the time for me. This is yearly value area high, this red right here. So keep that in mind for the NASDAQ. We're coming crashing down, and basically our weekly value area high is the 8726 area for the NASDAQ. And basically you would, as I said in yesterday's video, up here is the area that you would want to start initiating shorts for a potential reversion being the first of the year. That's why I was not, the market was so uber bullish, I wasn't willing to start shorts, but yet I sure as heck wasn't adding to longs either. That's why I'm almost all cash for the overnight here. But I would love to see the NASDAQ come down here to the 8728 area early this morning, and then potential reversion to the upside. This is still a very solid bullish chart. So, yeah, and then you have 8609 as an untested VPOC um, if the markets were to really start getting uh, in trouble here. But considering what happened in the Nasdaq yesterday, you wouldn't think that it's going to completely come unglued, um, and just based off of one headline. So, but yeah, coming down, I just don't think there's any significant support here. Now, if you go down to your daily webs, um, yeah, we're completely broken out of the daily. This is let's see here. This right here is your next. Okay, here's that red line was an untested VPOC. I didn't change the color. I'm sorry, but this here, so that'd be 87.21. It would be a logical target for possibly initiating. Yeah, this whole area right here, 87.30, 87.21 area would be an area you'd want to consider for swing long um, by the dip scenario. So there's still quite a bit of room to the downside potentially today. Okay, the IWM does do 24-hour trading, and it's after 4 o'clock, so I can actually use it instead of the uh, Ready. And basically, we've already blown through an untested VPOC already this morning on the Russell, and we are coming into a secondary untested VPOC, and then there's even a third one down here at the 162.60 area on the Russell. Now, what I was looking at yesterday, if you go out on your daily time frame, that gives you your monthly webs, and the markets were going to all-time highs yesterday, and basically the Russell was trading down below the VPOC for the monthly VPOC. So it was trading on the slightly bearish side of the VPOC virtually all day yesterday and then it rallied into the close. So that's something that I was keeping a very close eye on, and even so, just keep that on your mind. This was showing some relative weakness into a trend line, first day of the year. And if it wasn't the first day of the year, I wouldn't have worried too much about it. But being the first day of the year, it was something that I was worried about. And wouldn't you know it, I mean, it's just getting slaughtered here in the pre-market session. So something to keep a very close eye on here on the Russell, in my opinion. Okay. Some things that I was looking at here in my research here. One thing was Google. You notice it got a massive short squeeze yesterday. This is one I don't think is supportive on price if these markets decide to get continued sell-off. So this is one that I would be looking to the short side if the markets continue to decline today. Another one was Home Depot that I'm looking to buy the dip on this one. It takes a few seconds to load the dynamic volume profile, so I'll have to stop and refresh. I'm looking, we're right here at this trend line, and what I look for is a setup scenario to where the volumes are not, that the price is not exceeding the dynamic volume profile at the trend line. And we have that scenario here for Home Depot. So I'm thinking this is preparing for a breakout move to the upside for the next leg higher if the markets were to catch a bid. So watch it today. Home Depot will probably won't have that big of a sell-off in my opinion, given the scenario it's in here. So that would be a potential buy the dipper. I've been watching McDonald's for a potential continuation breakout pattern. And seeing as the markets are selling off today, we're probably going to get a dip opportunity in McDonald's. So just keep that in mind. This is one that it's probably going to need a little bit more time, but this is one I do think is going to take off to the upside here in some short order here. But this is a buy the dipper in my opinion. Luckin Coffee. This is one that I think it ran up into the holiday season. I do think it's way overdone here, and there's a lot of downside for Luckin Coffee. We're way above our average on this Luckin. So if the markets were to catch some selling pressure, I just don't feel comfortable chasing it here whenever the volumes are not the average volume is not migrating up with price. So we got a divergence here. This is probably a sell the news situation on Luckin. Baidu. This is one that we're just finally testing the gap uh, back from May of 2019. So we just finally had a massive rally yesterday, and we're testing that gap. What I think is going to happen on this, if we get a market sell-off, we'll get a pullback. Basically, got a cup here. Put a little build out right here on the Baidu for the next move higher, in my opinion. Okay, AMD. We just finally broke above the tech boom high. To me, that is a sell the news situation, in my opinion. We had this massive up. It would not surprise me to see a pipe top on AMD today if these markets are actually weak. So just keep this one on your watch. I would have thought a more continuation breakout if the average would have been migrating higher. But you see, we have a divergence happening here between price and the average volume profile. So that doesn't scream supportive for a all-time high breakout for AMD, in my opinion. Tesla, this is a growth story. Just entering China and stuff. Uh, Really, you can tell right here. You can see the distance the um, between what the average volume supporting price and exactly what the price action is going on here on Tesla. I do think this thing is got all kinds of froth to it, and pops should be uh, shortable until you the 434.50. If you get new all-time highs, then you'd have to close your shorts. But this would probably likely be a shorting candidate considering the extreme nature of the volume profile. Amazon was on my scans as a top performer yesterday, and basically what we've seen the past few days is a short squeeze higher. But look, the volume itself is not supporting the price. So this is a major warning sign to me for Amazon. I'm really happy there's a lot of people who are making money on this trade. It's just you generally want your average volumes to support higher prices, and we have a divergence. So things like this on any type of market sell-off, these type of stocks are going to get sold off the hardest, in my opinion. This is one of those examples. Facebook, the average volume, it's spiking with price. This is a supportive pattern for a breakout back to all-time highs. So just keep that in mind. This is a healthy stock versus Amazon. It doesn't look very healthy at all, in my opinion. So it's important to be in the right stocks that have the right momentum that support price, in my opinion. Roku. Price is actually supporting, or the volume is actually supporting price using the dynamic volume profile right here. You're right here. Both of them are matching up. So this is one you have to be careful about shorting at this point. It lost over 14% last month. So this is probably a buy the dipper scenario. You don't really want to push your shorts, in my opinion. I did mention in my last video about I was looking at it as a short candidate. And you know, yeah, it's not going up with the markets, but then again, it's not necessarily overvalued either, in my opinion. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking with Roku. Disney, this is another one. Volume is supporting the price action in Disney. that in mind, we actually had a little dip in the volume, and we're coming right back into a sustained level of volume. So there is a lot of interest to Disney to the upside. So this is a continuation pattern for Disney. Boeing is one of the few stocks that I think is a potential first of the year long, despite the really bad headlines. We'll see how the markets go here, but price volumes it seems to be supporting the price down here at these levels, and you do want to have price support. There's no extra froth in the price in Boeing at all, and we know it had a really bad December. So just keep that in mind. This is one of the areas I'm looking for value, um, than going chasing after stocks that are overvalued in this environment. NVIDIA is one I really like, and I've mentioned before, the 245, 250 area was my target for NVIDIA, but I can't chase it up here knowing that it's outside the value areas. So I just wanted to point that out. It's just not one that I want to chase under that situation. So it's likely this is one of those is likely to take a massive haircut today with the market selling off. So far this morning, there is a sustained bid in the energy stocks. ExxonMobil's got some bidding coming into it right here. So just keep that in mind. The energy sector really massively underperformed the markets last year, and it looks like we've got rotation going into the energy sector, justified or not. So, and there is a nice little spike in crude oil in the futures here. Yeah, we got a nice little pop here on the crude futures, and see that's yearly webs. Let me go on my daily, see where the next untested point of control. We blew through that one. So it looks like 63.97. So $64 should be our next target for crude oil here, in my opinion. So yeah, it looks like the top is not in my opinion, on the crude. So that should give continued bid. We've got BP and ExxonMobil leading volumes this morning already, and Oxy. I noticed yesterday Oxy was CVS or CVX. So there's a lot of very, very undervalued uh, small cap, mid and small cap oil companies like Occidental Petroleum here. They have really been taken to the woodshed on these cheap oil prices, and we have what seems to be a bottoming formation happening here in Occidental. This is one of the major oil companies, and Whiting. This is another one with oil prices like doing that. You could see a 10+% in Whiting today. We are look what seems to be a bottoming formation here in Whiting as well. So that's just two that just come close to my mind. APC, Apache. No, it's doing real well. That's Anadarko. I can't remember what Apache is. But at any rate, some of these small oil companies are really going to fly if this oil continues to show relative strength here. It looks like CVX is actually breaking out of a downtrend here in the pre-market session. So that's something to keep aware of. And then, so 123.72 is a potential for that. So that's I don't want to get my video too long, but yeah, it looks like they're looking to buy the energy sector, but they're looking risk off in all the other sectors. So, and it really looks like a lot of downside potential in the markets for the next support areas, in my opinion. So I am not going to be entering new long positions at the open today. If I do anything, they will be short positions at the open, and on some of the way well overblown stock names, just in case we get some selling pressure. Thanks a lot. See you later.